everyone, welcome back to Frenchies Bakery. Today we are going to be making an awesome cake. It's going to be a theme for a little girl's birthday party, or it could be for an adult too if they like sea creatures and mermaids and stuff like that. It's going to be so pretty and so cute, and I'm really excited to see the finished result. Every single time I plan on making a cake, I always picture it just sitting. So like my fridge is empty right now, but like I stand there and I look at my empty fridge and I just picture it in there, and I'm like, in a few hours, like the finished result's gonna be in there, and I always get so excited to see that. So I'm really, really excited to see this finished result. I think it's just going to be absolutely gorgeous. So this is going to be a two-tiered cake, and I know that freaks some people out. I know it used to freak me out. Sometimes it still does freak me out a little bit, but we will get through this together. I definitely have tips and tricks, and I will just take my time going through it and showing you guys all of the steps so your cake doesn't collapse or fall over or anything like that. And 2 tiers, it's nothing. Like, that is so easy compared to adding like a 3rd or a 4th or a 5th on top of it. So 2 tiers is definitely somewhere where you want to start off at. So this is like the perfect practice cake for you to work on. So first things first, we are going to work on our fondant decorations. So there is a bunch of little seashells and coral and seaweed all around this cake just to make it pop and make it pretty. You're going to want to do this a few days in advance if you can. I really like to do mine like probably 4 days in advance so it can dry and make sure that they're totally ready to go and be on the cake, because fondant does take a little while to dry. Even though it seems like the next day it is dry, it's not dry on the inside, and it'll probably fall apart whenever you're at the party, which would be pretty awful. I'm working with blue and pink and purple here. You can use any colors you want, obviously. There are so many different ideas on Pinterest. If you literally just look up coral fondant, you will find so many ideas. Seaweed, you roll out a big piece of fondant and then you cut little strips and you just wrap it around a pencil or a paintbrush, whatever you have, and then you're just gonna let it sit for a few days, like I said. I also have a chocolate mold. You can work with whatever you got. You can cut it out with your hands. You can use cookie cutters that you have, or a chocolate mold like I'm using. I just pressed a bunch of fondant into it and then pushed it out, and it became like a fish and a starfish and whatever else was on there. So go ahead and just get creative with this. You can take a bunch of little pieces of fondant. You can literally make it look so weird, because sometimes coral looks really weird. You can make really thin pieces and bend them in between 2 pencils and let it dry in a type of form that's like really like bendy, and poke a lot of holes in it. You can use piping tips and just press that into the fondant and make a bunch of small holes all over it, and it's really fun and easy, and you can get super creative with this. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is make our cake layers. So I am doing confetti cake. This is my all-time favorite. I absolutely love confetti cake. So the bottom tier is going to be a 9-inch cake, and then the top tier is going to be 8-inch. So just fill up your cake pans with whatever flavor you would like, and then just pop them in the oven and cool them completely before we start icing them. So the next step we're gonna work on is the buttercream. So I'm gonna work on my buttercream here, and I will link the video above for you guys, and then I'll also put it in the description box below. It's in every single one of my videos, just so people, you know, have that to refer to. And it is a super easy, really easy, really tasty recipe. So go ahead and check that video out. It's a super short video, and it really gets the point across really fast, because buttercream is definitely not rocket science. So I'm gonna whip this up, and then whenever I color it, I will get back to you guys. All right, so now we are going to make the blue color, because the bottom tier is gonna be a pretty blue. So I'm gonna start off with 2 drops of royal blue, and then I'm gonna add in a drop of brown. We'll see where the color goes and see if we need to add any more colors, stuff like that. So this is the finished color. It's a super pretty blue, kind of towards like a green. So it's really pretty. So 2 drops of royal blue and then a drop of brown, and just mix it up. And we are now going to start putting our crumb coats on our cakes. So let's move over to the island. So here is my first 9-inch piece of cake. God, it smells so good. I have it on a thick 12-inch cake board. You're gonna wanna use thick cake boards whenever you tier a cake. That way it will not break. So make sure that you get some thick cake boards. You can get these at any craft store. So we are just going to start putting some icing in between each cake layer, and putting on the crumb coat. So just make a nice smooth layer of icing and then a nice thick layer on the outside, and then we're gonna pop it in the freezer and let it just chill and relax. And while it's chilling and relaxing, we're going to then ice our 8-inch cake, which is right now in the freezer, just to get a little cool and ready to be iced. Now we are going to move on to our top tier, which is the 8-inch cake. So a little tip and trick here for you guys, which is going to make life so much easier and keep your cake together. We are going to use a little 8-inch, I had to cut it because I didn't have any left, cake board, and it is going to be the exact size as your cake. You wanna make sure it's the exact size, so we're gonna ice around it and you're not even gonna see it anymore. So whenever you stack the cake, it's going to have a support, but you won't even notice because it's gonna be covered with icing. So it's gonna be its own little individual cake. Whenever you get to the party, you can literally take it off the top and then cut into it and everything, and it makes things so much easier. So you're gonna wanna remember to pop out this middle hole because we're gonna be putting a dowel through the cake to make sure that it doesn't fall apart. So I have a larger cake circle here, and this is what we're gonna be working with to pick up the cake in and out of the freezer and to decorate it and everything. So I just have a little piece of tape there, and you always wanna probably put one piece of tape, so whenever you are holding the cake, whenever it's all iced and finished and you're gonna be stacking it on top, you wanna just have to pull off one piece of tape and not look for like a bunch of other pieces. So we're just gonna ice this cake as normal, and then we're gonna pop it in the freezer so it can get nice and chilled before we move on to our next step. Now we are going to put in the supports for our cake so it doesn't collapse and cave in. So I have some milkshake straws here. I prefer the big milkshake straws. They're big like bubble straws. And we are just going to put them right in the center of the cake. I'm probably gonna do 4 or 5. And this will, like I said, support the cake. So we're just gonna push the straw straight down. And then we're gonna lift it up just a little bit. And cut straight across. And now we're going to add some edible sand on our bottom tier cake board. So I have some crushed up graham cracker here. You can just put it in a bag and smash it up until it becomes fine like sand. And we are just going to put a thin layer of icing all around here wherever you want the sand, and then just sprinkle the graham cracker on top. Now we are going to add on some of our fondant decorations on the bottom tier. So we're gonna start working on this. So we have our sand down, and now we're gonna add a little bit of seaweed, some coral, some fishies, and you can just place them wherever you would like and just get super creative with it and have fun with it. Alright, so now we are going to stack our cake. Sometimes I will stack the cake before I decorate the top tier, and other times I will decorate the top tier and then stack it later on. But with this cake, I'm just gonna stack it and then put the scales on while it is all stacked and put together. So I have a dowel here. I get mine at Home Depot and then I just cut them myself. And I actually put some plastic wrap down here just in case if it were to splinter or anything. You can never be too careful. So we're going to put this straight down the center of our cake. Then I'm just gonna push it straight down. And then I just will remove my top tier from this bottom cake board, which we taped earlier. Get that one piece of tape so you know that you have it. And then we're just going to slide it down on the hole that we made. Now it is time for the scales. I have all of them cut out right here. So it's just a bunch of circles and I did blue, purple, light pink, and dark pink. And we're just going to place these on the side of the cake. And the reason why I stacked this before I decorated this is because I think I'm going to go for a look where the scale bends a little bit just to hide this sharp line here. Now, if you want to decorate the top tier before you stack it, you can always fill in this little harsh line here with some buttercream and that's totally fine. But I thought that the scales would work just as well. So we're gonna start and it's as easy as just putting a little bit of water all around the base and then just placing your scales wherever you want. I'm just gonna do a bunch of different colors everywhere. Going to paint a few of the scales gold just to add a little bit of pop and make it just super, super pretty. So I'm just going to paint some edible gold on just a few of them. All right, now that we have all of these scales on, I am then going to add the rest of the decorations that I have here. So I'm just gonna place the coral and the seaweed at different little spots, and then we're basically gonna be done. All right, just like that, our mermaid ocean themed cake is finished. It is so pretty. This is perfect for a little girl's birthday party. This is so much fun. I love this cake. It was so much fun to make. I love all the colors and it was just a really fun process. This is like my favorite. I love all of the mermaid scales. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Bye.